you can just sit on your mat and cross your legs at your mid-shin. If you are using a blanket underneath your bottom, go ahead and make sure you start in the center of the blanket as opposed to moving forward. Start right in the center and then look down at the kneecaps. Make sure that the center of the kneecaps move out towards the top edge of your yoga mat. Once you get here, lean over one side to the other. Make the foot very heavy of the hip that you're adjusting. Rotate the lower buttock flesh out, but also draw back. And when you shift over to do the opposite side, really draw the foot down so that you've got an anchor as you adjust the buttock flesh. You want to feel as if your two sitting bones have moved away from one another. So take a moment as you sit against your blanket, your mat, or your blocks to see if your sit bones move away or if they're moving towards each other and then forward. You want them to move out, away from one another, and then up towards your low back. Bring your fingertips into your blankets and press and lift your side rib cage. Draw your abdominal wall back. Bring your tailbone down. Keep your chin parallel to your mat. Next exhalation, bring the hands together at your heart center. Namaskarasana. You'll focus your gaze out in front of you on the mat or the floor. Bring your inner arms in towards your outer ribs. And then really extend the tips of your elbows down towards your mat. Close your eyes with your next exhalation. Continue to center yourselves here using your breath. Remember, it's Ujjayi breath. So as you inhale, move your inhalation into your outer body. Empty your lungs completely with your exhalation. Find passivity as you exhale the breath. I'll chant Om. You can join in or you're welcome to just listen. Exhale your breath, bow your head, bring your chin to the groove of your neck. Bring your hands to the very tops of your legs. Center your head, keep your eyes closed here a moment. Next exhalation, you can open the eyes and release the hands. Very good, guys. Now this next one you can do with or without blocks. Stay in Sukhasana. Notice which leg you've got in front. Move towards the very front edge of your blankets. If you're against your mat or your block, stay where you are. Take your two blocks out in front of you. Bring your hands to your blocks, and you're going to grip over your blocks with your hands. Push down as if you're going to push the blocks into the mat. Rotate the inner eyes of your elbows up, and then extend or move the blocks out in front. Keep your upper legs grounded, especially the leg that's in front. So for me, I had my left leg crossed in front of the right. So I really want to draw that outer left foot down, the outer hip down, left side, as I push the blocks forward. Move your spine in, so you want to bring your spine into your body. Bring your rib cage to your back, back rib cage towards your head. Great, and then you can grip your blocks and bring them back towards you. Perfect. And then let's change our cross in Sukhasana. Now your blocks are still out in front of you. You've just you've changed the crossing of your legs. Still make sure your kneecaps go forward, move the buttock flesh out. Now guys, when you come forward to place your hands on your blocks, make sure that your blocks are close enough so that you don't have to round the spine or become hollow in the abdominal area like this. So you want to keep drawing your navel up away from your pubic bone, even as you move forward to bring your hands to your blocks. When you push down into your blocks, lift your navel away from your pubic bone as you push the blocks out further. So you have to anchor your upper legs, your upper leg bones, your femur bones must anchor. Your outer feet anchor to your mat. Good. Now with this anchor, move your torso up and out away from your waist. So you're really stretching your torso, almost as if you can pull your torso away, out of your waist here. And then grip your blocks and bring them back towards you. So I'm going to go one more time back to Sukhasana, the first cross, blocks or no blocks. And if you need to, Hannah, you can just repeat what we did, or you can, if you can do this one, great. But I'm cross back to the direction that I was in the beginning. I'll lift up, twist the spine a little bit to the right, bring my right fingertips outside of my right leg, left arm out in front at an angle to the right. So my left fingertips are kind of pointed towards the top edge of my mat, right side. You'll walk the arm out, move your weight over to your left hip. You're trying to really open up your left armpit, bring your left shoulder blade into the back, rotate your left back rib cage down away from your spine. There's a slight twist here. Move the navel towards the chest. Now one more time, guys, take your right fingertips, press them into your yoga mat, and push your weight to the left. That's it, to the left. Move the navel up and out. The belly button can move out towards the inner part of that front knee, and then exhale, release. You can bend your elbow and come back seated. And I'll go opposite. So I'm going to uncross and recross once more. Always adjust the buttock flesh, because anytime you move your legs, your sitting bones change positions as well, you see. So you always want to adjust the buttock flesh. And then lift, twist slightly to your left, left fingertips on your mat, keep your left elbow bent. Take the right arm out, and it's kind of at an angle to the left-hand side of your mat, that top-hand corner of your mat. Now you can start by spider walking, but once I get my right arm out as far here as I can, I'll bring the palm against the mat, push into the left fingertips, move my weight to the right, and then my attempt to roll the right back rib cage away from my spine and down towards the mat. Good. So remember, you're at a slight twist. Your weight, your front rib cage is lined up over your inner left leg. Great. And then bend the elbow that's extended out in front and come back seated. Perfect. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Have your strap available. You may need it. But again, adjust the buttock flesh. And you always want to make your feet very active. So your feet are active. Your shin bones are active. They're moving down, kneecaps up, femur bones down. Sit really, really tall. So instead of this, you want to lift the side ribs and move forward. I'm going to stretch the arms out. You can use a strap. And extend the arms out, and you notice I've got the fingers together. Draw the thumbs towards the index fingers. Exhale, come forward, really draw your heel bones down, activate your feet. Grab the heels of your feet with your hands. Inhale, lift up to move the navel up away from your pubic bone, and then exhale, release, fold. Bend your elbows out to your sides here, guys, but I really want you to push your heel bones out towards the top edge of your mat. Move your spine in. So your heel bones, even though you're drawing them back, you're pressing them towards the top edge of your mat. Push your heels into your strap. Push your heels into your hands. And then inhale, stretch up, great, and exhale to release. Okay, so I'm going to do Paschimottanasana once more, but your heels work. Your heels move down, but they also really press forward, and then the toes can stretch back, just so we get some extension in the lower part of the back of your legs, your calf muscles. Do you see? So you're pushing out into your heels and really stretching your 10 toes back towards your kneecaps. I'm going to take a block this time, and you guys can bend your knees, stay on your prop, lift your block up with holding it in your hands. Exhale, come forward, and you'll place the block at your feet. And then you can step back for a moment here, and then make sure that the heels of your feet are into your block, and then grab the block, pull the block to the heels, press the heels to the block. With an exhalation, straighten the knees. Don't round the spine, guys, so you don't want your spine, your back body, to become convex, but rather concaved. So move your spine in. Make your arms really, really long. Even if your fingertips can kind of wrap around the block and touch one another, do that. Let your chin relax towards the groove of your neck. Take your gaze down towards your shins. Good. Exhale your breath to release the muscles in the face. Relax the muscles in the face. Good. Now focus on your legs. Open the backs of your knee pits. Extend your calf muscles into your heels and draw your 10 toes back. Great, great, great. And then inhale, really lengthen up. Lift the torso out of the waist and release. Perfect. Perfect, guys. I'm going to move my blankets to the side, and you can keep them if you want, or you may need to keep one of them. This is just here for comfort, and really I don't feel like moving it. That's the only reason this is here. So I'm going to bring the big toes together and shins and tops of the feet, Adho Mukha Virasana. Guys, look, make sure that you're not hyperextending. You always want, here are your outer ankle bones. And this is even in Supta Padangusthasana, anything that we do. You want to tuck your outer ankle bones here, watch, in. So they draw in towards your midline. And that's even in dog pose. And then shift up and over, walk your arms out. Really use your fingertips, get lots of length in your arms. Once you get that length, concave your thoracic spine and bring your chin towards the groove of your neck and your forehead onto your mat. So your anchor now becomes in your upper legs, in the fronts of your ankles. Good. Press your buttocks down towards your heels or down towards the blanket or whatever prop you've chosen to use. That looks so good, Esther. Really does. Really excellent. And then once more, move the navel up and towards the chest. And see if you can wiggle the arms out a little bit further. Now go to your side rib cage. Tuck your side rib cage, your outer rib cage, tuck it in. And then extend it towards your fingertips. Great, guys. Bend the elbows with an exhalation and rest for a moment in Adho Mukha Virasana or child's pose. Yep. The groove of the neck kind of moves towards the chin so that there is space in the back of your neck. So you're not compressing the cervical spine. Great. A few more seconds. Good, good, good. And then you guys can go ahead and bring yourselves up and grab your blocks. Now I have to move the blanket that I didn't want to move a minute ago. But grab your blocks in your hands, and I've got mine on the medium level. I'm going to bring them out in front of me like this and then come to my knees. I want to push down into my blocks to stand. See, one leg, 1 foot at a time. Now this is Uttanasana. So when I come here, I've got the blocks right out to the outer part of the feet. I'm going to take the inner ankle bones out. And remember my story of tucking your outer ankle bones in? So your inner ankle bones here, inner ankle bones, go out. Outer ankle bones tuck in, always. Okay, so as you come up standing, try to get the outer feet to really line up and press into your blocks. Not just into your blocks with your outer feet, but also press down. Now put your hands on your blocks. You can have your elbows bent or straight. And I want you to take your inner ankle bones and spread them out towards your yoga blocks. And then I want you to shift your weight so that you find your way nice and even in all 4 corners of your feet. Relax your head. Relax your head. Now check your feet again. Inner ankle bones, press them out. Outer ankle bones, tuck them in. Do this at the same time. Good. Good, 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 good. And then inhale, and you can look out in front. You keep your hands as they are. And exhale, you'll bring your hands to your hips. And inhale your breath as you come up. Very good. Just to get a little work here in the backs of the legs. So guys, hopefully you have a wall and you can keep your blocks here, but I'm going to come to the wall and I'll hold the blocks. You don't have to have them. We're going to walk into dog pose eventually, not right away. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the left heel up the wall, and it's up the wall to start, and then I'll press down, and hopefully you can hear. Watch. That was the wall. That wasn't me. And then I'll walk that right foot out, and as I'm doing that, I want that left heel to really move back to the wall, and watch this outer left hip. Internal rotation. Your right leg is where I'm concerned, really. And I want you to walk the right leg out. Now watch, I want you to begin to bend that right knee, pressing the wall. Bring your hands to your blocks. You see, so we'll take a little bit of a lunge and really draw this heel down and back. And then I'll bring the opposite leg, opposite foot to the wall. I'll lift to the heels, and then I'll draw down and back. Okay, and we'll do that on both sides. So just find a space. So Lisa, come out. Everyone come out. Bring the left heel to the wall, left toes forward, and then press down, all the way down. Maybe you can make a sound. So you're dragging the wall down with that left heel. That's it. Now, place your hands on your hips or hold your blocks. But as you're here, press back and down and walk your right foot forward, right leg forward. Keep going. And don't go forward yet. I want you to rotate the outer left hip. Use your left hand. Outer left hip forward like this. Line both of your hip points up, lift your chest. Now, bend your right knee, but keep your left leg just like it is. That's it. Internal rotation, the left heel is down and back into the wall. Now, with your right knee bent, go ahead and bring your hands down to your mat or to your blocks and see if we can walk the right foot a little further and bend the knee a little deeper and push the wall. Push the wall, but push the blocks or push the mat as well. And then take your right leg back, take the heel up and then down the wall. Up and then down the wall. Good. Push your leg bones back. Good. Towards the wall. They don't touch the wall. They move towards the wall. Good. Press down and back. Rotate your inner thighs back behind you. Good. Let's go ahead and see. And you've got your heels against the wall, but see if you can lift your 10 toes up and press the wall. Press the wall. Now bring your 10 toes down, but keep the action of your heel bones pressing not only into your yoga mat, but back. Great. Look out in front of you towards your blocks here. Bring your right leg forward again. Let's press that left leg. Press the left leg. Now you've got your left heel still against the wall. Since we're here, grab your blocks or your mat with your fingertips. Draw your right hip back. Let's see if we can keep this one going. Fold. Bend your elbows. You really got to press into that right foot, the 10 front. Press. Now press into the inner right foot, press into the outer right foot, straighten your right knee, and draw your outer right hip back. Outer right hip back, guys. See if you can touch that outer hip bone into your inner left heel. And then you can inhale to look forward, hands are on your blocks. Let's bend that right knee and step up. Bring the left leg up. Now you can keep holding on. No, you don't. You'll stand up. Don't keep holding your blocks. Stand tall. Go back to the wall, and it's the right heel up the wall now. This time, right heel goes up and then down. 10 toes forward. Now, be very aware of how that femur bone is rotating. It should be internal, meaning the inner thighs here rotate in, always in. So once you get that right foot there, rotate the hip forward. Outer hip turns in. Right toes face forward. That's great, guys. Great. Great. Now really make that right foot active. Hands to your hips or to your blocks. Let's walk that left leg out. Now I've got my thumbs at the posterior pelvis and I am drawing down. There's some length here like this. As you're walking your left leg forward, draw the posterior pelvis down, lift the chest. Good. Press the wall down. Press the wall down. Now you can begin to bend that front knee, left knee as much as you can. Good. And then really turn that outer hip forward. Shift forward. Put your hands on your blocks. Try to get your blocks out a little bit further in front of you to get length in the arms. Don't arch the back. Press the heel down. Now see if you can move that right thigh bone to the wall. Now step your left foot back. Go up and then down. So the left heel goes up the wall and then it presses down into the mat. Good. It presses into the mat. Now here, guys, your calf muscles are not touching the wall. Let your calves come away. Your heels remain at the wall. Press down. Lift the 10 toes up. And as you lift your 10 toes, notice the arches of your feet lift. Notice the inner thighs lift. Now move the chest towards the upper leg. That's it. That's it. Great, great, great. Keep that internal rotation of your legs. Perfect. You can look forward, look out in front of you, and we'll bring our left leg up, and you try to keep that right leg where it is. Left leg forward, and then walk it out as far as you can. Press the block. Press the wall behind you, but press your yoga blocks underneath your hands. Draw your outer left hip back. So you can drag the left pinky side of the foot back and fold. You can lose the block so you can press down and move your nose to your knee. Keep dragging that outer left hip bone back, and I want more weight in your right heel going to the wall. Now use that right heel to get movement in the outer left hip. Hands back to your blocks or back out in front of you. Bend your left knee, step up. Hands to the hips. Great. Wonderful. Take your two blocks, and I'm going to put them side by side. Don't necessarily meet the wall this time, but I'm going to stand in front of my two blocks. This is important. Hold your blocks with your fingertips, kind of pushing your blocks towards you. And I'm going to lean over and hold the blocks. My knees don't have to be straight yet. I just need to get my fingertips here to steady my blocks. Then I'll put my toes up. Base of the toes, that heel is descending. Look, descend calf, descend heel, flex the toes. And so I'll step up on the opposite side. Here's where you want to push the blocks in. And watch, instead of my hips being behind me, my sits bones being behind me, I want to go ahead and shift forward. Even kind of walking my hands and arms forward. So you do have that sensation, your base of your toe joints won't hit the floor, but you're almost pressing them down as they will. Okay, so come into your blocks. Good. Good, good, good. Take your time to get your blocks, draw them into you, and step up one foot at a time, and you flare your toes or you flex your toes to get the base of the joints to be the ones that are pressing into your blocks, not your toes. Now bring your fingertips over the blocks in front of them and push the blocks to you. Yeah, that's it. Push the blocks to you. Everyone, while you're pushing the blocks towards you, shift forward into the block. Shift a little bit forward so your hips move over, and then descend calves, descend heels. Perfect. Now stay here. Bring your arms and fingertips out in front of you on your mat. See how far out you can walk your hands while keeping those feet and heels active. That's it. You've got to use the belly. You've got to use the navel. You have to extend and lift the chest. That's it. That's it. Lift your kneecaps, guys. Your arches are already lifting. They're lifting because you've got your feet on the blocks. So the arches are already lifting. Let the arches lift. Rotate the inner thighs back. Walk the arms further out. Now you can bring your hands and your arms back. Go ahead and bring them to that block, to both of your blocks once more. Press in, press down into the base of the big toe joints, and come standing. And bring your hands to your waist, but you're going to really descend the posterior pelvis. And bring the front of your pelvis up. Take your arms out, palms down, inhale, lift your arms up, palms face the front of you, tuck the bottom in. Good, 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 good. And then exhale, release. Perfect. Excelente, guys. Excelente. So you can move your blocks over. Actually, let's keep them, and I'm going to do parsarita. So I'm going to stand at the back edge of my mat, and I'll turn my 10 toes first forward, but those outer feet I want to bring out. So I want to take the outer feet out and down, and I'll bring the block. So we're going to go pretty far out. You know, we go. That sounds like we're going to some groovy dance show or something. Yeah, but we're going to go pretty far out. Gonna press our inner thighs out, and I'm just going to get these blocks out there as far as I can. So it's kind of like it's a combination of Prasarita Padottanasana and dog pose. Yeah, so blocks on the hands, or blocks, or hands on the mat. Get here, move as far out as you can, and let's see, Leslie, bring your legs a teeny bit wider, just a little bit, but everyone, you look so good. Laura, Leslie, press your thigh bones back strongly. Keep your spine. There you go. That's excelente. That's excelente. Lisa, can you draw your navel towards your spine? There you go. That's great. That's great. That's great. Lift the kneecaps up. Now move the head towards the mat. Concave the upper back. Great. Great, great, great. Now keep holding on to your blocks, if you've got them, and bend your elbows one at a time. Bring your blocks back. Hold them right underneath your hands. Straighten your elbows. Look out in front of you. Bring your hands onto your hips. And inhale, come up. Perfecto. And then you can bring your hands and your feet together. Excelente. I'm going to move these because I don't need them. Some of you may, but I'm going to come down into a lunge, and I'm going to go the other way so you can see. But I'm going to lunge, and when I lunge, I want to press that left heel back. Take a nice deep lunge. I'll take the right leg over from that lunge. Keep the hip lifted. Draw the right foot down. Wiggle the left leg back. Now I want to rotate that outer right hip down towards the mat and then come down. Once I come down, I'm going to extend that left arm out and twist to the right. So you've got to use your back foot. You've got to use your outer right foot. Come into a lunge. And Hannah, maybe I don't know how you're twisting, but you do what you can do. What are you going to do? You're going to do Ardha Chandrasana or something? That's good. Just kidding. You do it if you can do it. So you're in a lunge, right? And you've got your hands either on your blocks or on your yoga mat. Now push your left heel back. Be very aggressive. Press the left heel back. Keep the left heel bone and the left femur bone very active. Now, take your right leg over to the left. Just stay on your outer right foot and your hands. Press your left heel back. Roll your outer right hip down. And then place the outer right hip on the mat. You can then come maybe forearms But lift your right hip up, twist to the right. You can even begin to stretch that left arm out and feel like the left arm and the left leg are very, very long. Left arm, left leg. Now, your fingertips on your left hand are walking out in front. As that happens, press your left heel back. Press your left heel back. That's great. That's great. That's great. That's great, guys. That's wonderful. And then exhale, release. Excellent. Excelente. Yeah. Very nice. Perfect. So remember, lunge on your opposite side. Now your left leg is forward. Take the lunge because you're just kind of opening the front of this leg, your back leg, your back leg. You draw your outer hip back. Think of this hip bone, left outer hip bone, always rotating back towards the back heel. And then you come over and take the left leg over. Now you can be hands to your blocks or hands on your mat, but that left leg goes over. Draw the left hip down away from the left side rib before you actually bring the hip to the mat. That's great. That's great. Take your time. Now use your right heel. Really turn your right heel to the right, and that will pull the entire hip. Do you see? It'll move those muscles away from the spine. Good. Make sure your back heel is up to the ceiling. And then push. Push your back heel back. Stretch your right arm out as far out in front as you can. Make that entire right side from the fingertips to the foot very long. And then even. So stack your outer right hip directly over your outer left hip. It's a stacking. It's a compacting. Perfecto. Perfect. Now, stretch the arm out, push the heel bone back, twist a teeny bit deeper, and exhale, release. Perfecto. And then sit on your mats. Perfect, guys. Catch your breath. I'm going to use a blanket, and I saw Hannah doing this as her modification for what we were just doing a moment ago. So sorry, Hannah, but you're going to have to do this pinwheel again. So I've got the blanket, and it's going to go, for now, to my left. Let's see. Yeah, so I'll turn this way so you guys can see. So, to the left. And then to the left, just kidding. So this right leg here, and he's gone. Okay, look. Oh, well, this is tough, but that left leg is behind. And what really this gives you that, I don't know, I feel very uneven, and I can really feel the unevenness. So my right leg is in like a half pigeon, but so is my left leg. And then if you feel like you've got a ton of weight on your right sitting bone, on your outer right hip, you can bring a prop underneath like this, you see. Just so you can get those hip points leveled, sitting bones leveled. Well, mine just aren't going to level, I don't know. But anyway, bring the left sitting bone down. Lift the left inner knee up and move it to the left. That will help. That will help. So don't straighten it yet. It's really out to the left, but everyone lift this part of your left knee up and pull it to the left. That's it. That's it. Now you can see if you can draw that sitting bone down on your left side because it's probably lifted. You see? So this sitting bone left one is lifted, so bring it down. Now, twist, kind of draw your outer right hip and outer right knee back. Twist a little bit to the right. And then let's switch. So how do you switch, you ask? You can hold that right leg if you want, but you'll bring it forward like that. Great. And then I'm going to just move my blankets over, switch the sides, and this left leg stays in the front. So maybe you need a prop, and then the right leg goes behind. Have a prop because it does make it feel, I won't say better, but you do feel more even. So that prop on my left sitting bone, really it's at the lower left buttock. And what the tendency is my torso wants to kind of turn to my right, but I want to bring it forward, lift that inner right knee up and extend it to the right. You'll draw your outer hip back, and you can take a little bit of a twist to your left. That gives some evenness at your hip points. Now you can bring your right sitting bone down to your mat. Try to keep your hips very even, and your legs at that angle, both legs, front and back, are at that fire log angle. Yeah, so one more time. Lift the inner right knee up and extend it out. That's good. And lean with it. Lean to your right. Good, 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 good. So try not to let that sitting bone on your front hip ground, don't fall to the outer, but try to keep that hip very even. Really what it requires is that left hip, front hip, lift up some. You see? It requires that front hip. There you go, Leslie, like that. Do you see? Bend your right knee a little bit deeper. Good. Now you guys move to your weight over to your bent knee, to your back knee. And then you can drop that sitting bone to the mat and try to line your rib cage and your hip points up so that they're leveled and they're forward. Good. As you twist to your left, you draw that outer left hip back. Back, back, back. Perfect. Perfect. Check once more, because when we go into pigeon pose, we want that front leg and front hip to behave the exact same way as it's behaving here. Meaning you want to have very little weight on that front hip sit bone. Okay, and then release. Now I'm going to go again. Let's see. I don't really need that, but I'll come onto the mat, right leg forward. Is this how we did it before? Right leg forward. Left leg started in pinwheel, so just like this. Now, if you need props, go ahead and have it. Maybe you need a blanket here under this outer right hip, like this, right? So I've got my blanket, and I'm just checking level and evenness on the right side. And then I'm going to shift forward. Watch me. I'm going to draw the right knee back. Stay forward. Try to trick the brain and take that left leg back very slowly. And then I want to just extend, just like we did in that twisting pose. Extend that left foot, left heel back, draw the right hip back, place the foot, place the ankle, and lift. So you have to go very slow. If you don't go slow, you'll fall over onto your hip like we do at other times. So right leg is in the front, draw the outer right hip back, stabilize that front leg, which is your right leg. Don't lean, don't put weight on your hip. Exhale your breath, shift forward, fold over the front leg. Now line your front rib cage up with your front leg, so you're not leaning over to your right, but rather you're staying even between your left and your right hip point. Now that you're here, keep your fold and sneak the left leg back behind you very slowly. That's it. You've got to roll. You've got to roll with your left leg. Your left leg here is in control. It's your left leg that is adjusting and moving your hips. It's not your front leg. Focus on a big pressing of your left heel. Engage the femur bone on your left side. Now, when you are ready to bring your left foot down, do it slowly. Bring the knee down. Bring the front of the ankle. Bring the 5 left toes. Press. Press. Now, energetically pull your outer right hip back. Walk your hands closer to your hips. Lift your chest. Good. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Keep rolling that outer hip, the back hip down. Down to the mat. If it can press down through the outer hip, do that. And then exhale, release. Now, how do you release? Bend the back knee, bend the left knee. Bring it back forward and switch. Perfect. Are y'all okay? It's just welcome back, Audrey. Okay, other side. Now, I really do like coming into it this way. So now I've got my left leg in front. And you start here, you know, it gives you a place to be on this front hip. For me, it's here. So I need to really become leveled here. Leveled here. Do you see? So get this where that outer left hip goes back and you can fold. And you're not so worried about that back leg at that moment. But once we get nice and level, and actually my left sitting bone is off of the mat completely. What's on the mat is the outer left thigh. And then as I stay forward, look at this right side, it's rolling up. But I wanted to roll towards that front leg. And then as you go back, look, straighten. And don't be in a hurry to sit tall, but push that heel. Draw your hip back. And I said before, you have to roll with your right leg and then place the foot. Place the leg and you can sit tall. Now, once you sit tall, you take a little bit of a twist to the left. That feels great. It kind of evens out the posterior pelvis, or it evens out your sacrum a little bit. Roll to your back leg. Roll to your outer back hip. That's great. That's great. That's great. Stay here. Draw your outer front foot back, or down rather, not back, down, and then draw the outer hip back. So continue to adjust your back leg. It's your back leg that's going to do the work. So if that outer right hip, which is here, could come all the way down to the floor. That's it. Can you guys bring that out? That's great, Laura Leslie. That's it. That's perfecto. That's it. Now press through your back leg very, very strong. Your 5 right toes. Press and see if you can rotate that hip one more time. Internal rotation. Good, 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 good. And then exhale, release. So release and kind of crawl out of this. Very good. Very good. And then just come seated on your mat. And then once more, adjust the buttock flesh. Now I'm going to, you can use a block for this, or you can use nothing. Let's see, you can also use a blanket for this, but I'll use a block. So I'm seated on the mat, and I'll come on top of my block. Now, Esther, if you can't do this, just modify. Maybe keep your legs straight out. And then I'm going to lean over to the left, right knee bends, and I'm going to place the top of the right foot here. And again, I want to be tall. This is Crouchasana. I'm going to bring the left leg up, grab the foot, and when I take this left leg up, you notice that that femur bone comes to my chest and it stays there. Watch how I'm going to straighten this by extending the calf to the heel and flex your toes. Flex your toes, draw them down. Even if you have to use your hands, press your heel up, pull your leg in. Okay, Crouchasana. So you could sit on top of a block, and Hannah, of course you can't do that, but you can do Triangle. Okay, so bend your right knee, and a block makes him much more comfortable. Maybe we'll do it second time without a block. But bend the right knee, place the right foot on the mat. Go ahead and bring your right thumb inside of your inner right heel and draw your heel out. That's it, and lean over so you have weight in your right shin bone. Now bend your left knee and put your left foot on the mat. And this, again, may be it. Maybe this is all that you can do. Really press down into the bent knee. Press down into the bent foot. Now flex your left toes. Flex them up like this. Press them up. Yep. And grab inner and outer foot. Now bring your shin bone to your chest and hold it there. Hold it there. Pull it in. And bring your calf muscle parallel to the mat, and pull the leg in. Pull it in, flex your toes from here. Draw your toes back. Can everyone flex your toes towards your right kneecap? Keep your right femur bone there, straighten your right knee. Don't move your femur bone away from your chest, straighten your right knee. Straighten your right knee. That's it. Now flex your toes, Lord, Leslie, flex your toes. Everyone pull your base of your toe joints down, down. Pull your leg in, lift your chest. Good. Now drop your 5 right toes or your 5 left toes towards your left knee. And then exhale, release. Good, bend the knee, release. So you really are using your calf to your heel and you're using your foot. So to switch, you move to your left, you straighten your right knee, and then you lean to your right and you bend your left. Now, if you're going to take this in stages, stage 1, right? Really putting weight on that left shin. Stage 2, still sitting really tall. So at no point does this happen, and if it does, what that means is you stay here and you continue to work to bring the spine in and up. Or second step, come onto those right heel, grab inner and outer foot. Now watch, when I bring this up, it's active. So if I were, imagine this as pressing forward into my hands, flex your toes. Flex your toes. Now, when I lift this left leg, I'm going to change my hands to come right over the base of the toes. Come in. Now, push your heel up, but pull your toes down, base of your toes down, guys. Base of your toes go down. Your femur bone goes down. Your toes flex. Now, press your heel. Good, and then bend the elbow and release. Bend the knee, release. Oh, very, very good, guys. And you can just stretch your legs out. Stretch your legs out in front of you. And I'm going to sit on the mat, just center the mat. And again, if you want a blanket, you can have one like this. I'm not going to take a blanket, but you can. And I'm going to stretch my right leg out, bend my left knee, just like this. And again, maybe this is it. This is Parita Janushirasana. So maybe this is all that you can get. This is as far as you can go. So that left foot is down, left shin, left front ankle, down. Now watch the inner growing, up, roll, down. Kind of exaggerate, like you're arching your back almost. Yeah, and then really activate that foot. Now, reach out to your right, grab your right big toe. You've got to make that right arm really long. Don't move your chest down. Keep your chest forward and stretch your right arm out. Put your left hand on your left hip or your left upper leg. Draw down and back. So L-shaped left hand brings the left thigh bone down, but it also grounds the left buttock flesh. I want you guys to take a moment to bring the top of the left buttock flesh down towards the mat. Open your chest. So move your breastbone towards your chin. Now bend your right elbow and bring it inside of your right knee to your mat. Draw your left sitting bone down. Left sitting bone stays down. Flesh of the left side is long, and it moves from the top of the buttocks to the mat. And you can walk your left arm out in front of you, take it over the head, and grab your right toes, left hand. You can then bend that elbow. Left elbow bends, twist the chest up towards the ceiling. Good, good. Go up to the ceiling, everyone, so the chest doesn't move to the mat, doesn't move to the leg, but it turns to the ceiling. You can think about the back of your head should face your right knee. The back of your head should face your right knee. And then exhale, release. Very good. That, again, that's another big one to take in stages. See, because look, this is just as effective as folding all the way. You see? So this is why this is just as effective, because it's still a horizontal fold. It's still a horizontal lengthening of the spine. So watch. This is the goal. Before, you don't want to start here and here. Do you see? So the goal is up and open as you bend the elbow. So switch sides. And stages, remember, this one is a very easy one to take in stages, because you could just be here and really this be enough for your knee and enough for your inner groin. It's kind of like a half of a Upavista combined with Janu, right? So this is effective. This works. So if you just need to be here, but roll the inner groin down and press the top of the right foot. And before you reach for your left toe, put your right hand on your upper leg, draw down and twist to your right. That feels great too. You see, you don't have to do anything else. This is wonderful. And then lean over to your left and go ahead and grab that left toe. Left hand, left toe. Keep your elbow straight, your left elbow straight. Press down into your right leg. Excuse me. Be rather insistent that your right leg bone comes down and that your right buttock flesh comes down. And then bend your elbow, your left elbow. Bring it inside of your inner left knee and all the way down to your mat. Do that first, guys. Work on making your left side rib long. Can you move your left side rib to your left armpit? Left side rib, left armpit. Now use the outer elbow to the inner knee to turn your chest up. Turn your chest up. Now, how do you get that top arm out? Walk it out in front of you on the mat. Wiggle the fingertips up and over the ear and grab the foot, right hand, left foot. Remember, the back of your head is directed towards the kneecap. So keep turning the back of your head towards that knee. Everyone go back to your right leg. Draw your right femur bone down. Make the right buttock flesh long. Top of the buttocks to the mat. Chest to the ceiling. Guys, turn that chest up. Now try to get that lateral, the outer left rib to move towards the left foot. Great. And then release. Perfect. Perfect. You can come out, and I'm going to keep my blanket. Now, the only thing with the blanket is that it's hard to come down out of it once you do come down with the blanket. So we'll just have to go through the maneuvering of moving our blanket out of the way. Maneuvering, not the other word. Not maneuvering. Anyway, never mind. Maneuvering. I have been known to make up words, so I don't know. Lisa language. Okay, so I've got the blanket there. It's a small blanket, and it's folded in that hot dog, Tootsie Roll, enchilada, taco fold. Now I'm hungry. So just shoulder blades move away, and Really, I've been working a lot lately, guys, on not letting these backs of your upper arms go up like this. But you want to, as you exhale, try to relax and descend. So they're now grounded and they're used as your anchor. I'll walk my heels in, I'll lift the bottom and bring the block highest level that I can to the sacrum. Then I lift the shoulders up and then watch, I really drop them down. Oh, feels wonderful. Your feet are against your mat. You can even hold your mat with your hands. You can also walk the legs out and straighten the knees. So the knees do not have to straighten. They can stay bent if that's the most comfortable thing for you. If you don't have a block, so you're not able to do a supported back bend, you could take Setu Bandha without the block a couple times, still using that blanket under the back of your arms. That blanket under the back of your arms is important, especially for me, because the chest and the thoracic spine are so tight. So this little bit of a lift underneath the backs of your arms helps to open up the chest. Right? It means your shoulders, the backs of your arms don't have as much of a drop to make it to a prop, meaning the mat or the floor. With the blanket there, your shoulders, upper arms can really descend easier because you don't have as far to go. Very good, guys. Take a few moments. Remember, you can bend the knees, you can straighten the knees, you can put the feet. If you have a wall at your feet, you're welcome to put your feet to the wall. It's completely up to you. Good. A few more seconds. Yeah, it doesn't take long before your body starts to say, wait a minute, something is missing. Few more seconds here. Move. See that the chest moves towards the chin, not vice versa, not the chin dropping to the chest, but the breastbone reaching towards your chin. The front of your body open and your upper arms relaxed. Go ahead and put your feet on your mat and bend your knees, feet on the mat, and you can lift up. Lift your hips to the ceiling and take your block down. And then bring your bottom down nice and slow so you'll tuck yourselves down to your mat. Let your feet relax on your mat so you are pressing through the soles of your feet, but you're not pressing heavily. And then I'm going to, just for a moment, I'm going to bend the elbows, put them on the mat, lift up. And just pull that blanket that I was using underneath the backs of my arms down some, so it's more around my back rib cage. Oh, it feels great. And you can stretch your arms out, palms up, and just extend your legs for a moment. And here you can relax. Your legs, your arms, your feet can relax. Your blanket is small. It's not folded hugely, but it is enough to give that nice kind of lift of the chest and descension of the upper arms, and you'll look really good here. Hannah, bless your little heart. What? What do? You can't lay down on your bolster? Okay. Now, I hope you can get back up. I don't see Michael there. We can't come get you, Hannah. Oh, well.
You always have phone and food nearby.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she's got her sisters. I'm sure she got stuck. Somebody would come and help her. Ah, great, 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 great. We can't stay here too long, guys. Go ahead and bend your knees. Put your feet on the mat. I'm going to do this. Keep your hands on your blanket. Walk your feet towards your bottom. Lift up. And now we got the blanket down at the sacrum. So you're almost seated on top of it. And again, you can keep the knees bent, stretch the arms out. And once more, you can go ahead and straighten those legs. And again, that should give some length here in the posterior pelvis, you see. So you should have that sensation that the flesh on the back of your body is moving down towards your head. Relax here, relax. Let your bottom rest against that blanket. Good, good, good. A few more seconds. Go ahead, guys. If your knees were straight, bend your knees. Bring your inner knees together. Let your feet move out to the sides, and you're still on top of that blanket. So that should give some length here. And then we'll bend the knees into the chest. And you can hold the knees here. And then go ahead and roll over to the right, and we'll bring ourselves up to seated. And you'll just move your blankets over here to the sides or wherever you want to move them, to the side or to the opposite end. I'm going to take the blanket out and put it on the mat towards the wall for Shirsasana. Now what you can do if you're not going to do Shirsasana, you can stand up and you can do Uttanasana, which is here, or you can do Prasarita with the legs a little bit wider. But you still get that sensation of turning upside down where the blood can move to the brain. So you still get that upside down sensation if you're afraid to do a deeper inversion. If you're going to do headstand, guys, you come down on your knees, you place the palms of your backs of your hands on your blanket, your elbows, your forearms, your fingers face you. You'll interlace your fingers with the fingertips facing you like the people in the steeple, and then wiggle. You see people in church. Anyway, the fingers face you. Y'all remember that childhood thing we used to do with the, yeah. I never know the name. Someone said it the whole ride the other day, and I was like, what? It says that? So apparently all I know is the people in the church or the steeple. Anyway, press down, outer wrist, elbows, and maybe this is it. You want to concave the upper back, so the thoracic spine. When you get ready to take your legs up, guys, reach. Bring one heel at a time to the wall. Find your balance here. So you're really holding the back of your head. The way that I come away from the wall is one leg at a time and trying to move my weight into the elbows. So don't be in a rush. Your legs can relax. Your belly comes in. Your bottom comes in. And you breathe, okay? So if you don't want to do that, I just wanted to do that, can y'all tell? But you can do that anyway. Esther takes her feet to the wall and does kind of like a Shirsasana wall L. You could do a full wall L where you put your hands on the mat and your feet up the wall. I can't do that either, but you get my drift, right? Hannah's doing a forward fold, hands on the baby bed. Oh, she did a headstand. I didn't see it. I was talking. So this is another way to kind of release the back and get somewhat of a, not really an inversion, but it is a nice back release. I didn't say, but you can also put your legs up the wall if that's where you want to go for your inversion today. Now, Lisa, you're still hurting, huh? Yeah. You need to come for massage. You should really come for, Todd adjusted my shoulder yesterday. I don't know. Sometimes these things are accidents. But anyway, now look.
Uh-huh.
Look at that.
My shoulder's much, much better. That's the first handstand I've done in 6 months.
Oh, good.
For 2 seconds.
Good. You still need to come for massage, though. There you go, Audrey. That's perfect. Yeah, let your legs relax when you're in inversion, Molly. That's great. Molly's like, what? I'm just sitting here, but it's great. I saw you in headstand, so I know you're just settling down. I know. So when you come out, you can stand and fold. You can take child's pose. You can sit. This is, just sit on your mat and kind of let the blood move back, where we're used to. Or any forward fold, anything to just kind of release the neck, the shoulders, the arms. Take a few moments and a few deep breaths. And then with your next exhalation, you can come seated. So since I'm standing and folding to release the neck, I'm going to take my gaze to the mat, and then just bend my knees and sit. That's great, guys. And you can move that blanket to your side. And I'm going to take my block on the flat level, come supine. And just a moment, I'm going to keep this length. Hannah, maybe you do this on your bolster. It's probably not that comfortable for you to have a big drop off like we're going to have, so maybe on top of your bolster. But once I get here, flat block, lift up and bring it to the posterior pelvis. And first I'm going to start bending this right knee in and then extending that left leg out. And what I want to do is I want to take my left leg as far out to the left as I can get it. And the further that left leg goes, watch what happens to the right knee. It kind of moves out too. So when you come here, start with the left leg straight but center of your mat. And then see how far out you can take that left leg. For me, it's not very far. But, those AD and AB muscles are the ones that take the leg in and take the leg out and pull the leg in. So you are using muscles on the inner and the outer part of that long leg. So you really engage the left foot, left leg, let the left heel hover and try to get it out to the left. And put that left heel as close to the floor without it being on the floor as you can. Good. Good. All the way out to the left, close to the mat, but not on the mat. Now let's see, keep your holding below your right knee. You've got your left leg out. Activate your left foot. Bring your left leg center. Let's see if we could take it over opposite, so left leg to the right. And then bring it back to the center. And then bend the left knee and release the right and switch sides. So you've got this left knee bent and it's pulling into your chest. And extend the right leg. You could start with it coming straight down and then out. My right leg has a lot more flexibility, and you'll be able to notice which hip is more flexible or has more space, right? So keep that right heel really low towards the floor and really feel each side of your sacrum on your block. So don't lift your bottom up. Oh, you can bring the heel low. Try to keep the 10 toes up to the 5 toes up to the ceiling. And then you can begin to bring it to the center. Take it over to the left. Bring it back to the center. Bring your heel down and release. Release. Very good. Now we're going to go to our other one that we normally do. Keep your bottom attached to your block. Keep your sacrum on your block. Come to Baddha Konasana. Grab both of your feet. Turn the soles of your feet towards you. Keep your right foot in your hand. Sole of your right foot is facing you. Extend your left leg. Now this time you can move that left leg up. It's out to the left. But don't lift your bottom up. Do you see I started here, but I want to roll down against that block. And then that left leg is not going to want to do anything really. Or at least my left leg doesn't. But you can move it in a circular motion. You can move it in an up and down motion. But that right knee is bent, right kneecap is moving to the floor. Right kneecap is moving to the mat. Left leg is going, it's this rotation, circular movement. It can come up shoulder level. It can go back down to the waist level. You can do small rotations or big rotations or however you want to work into those deep muscles in the pelvic floor. Deep muscles in the hips. Good. And then come back center and switch. So you can come into Baddha Konasana once more. And then now you turn the soles of your foot to you. Keep holding the left. Take it out at that 90-degree angle, left knee. And then the right leg extends out, and this is the one that you move it around. You can bring it up. You can even do circular motions here. I mean, kind of make it up, really. Yeah, you can find that place where it's like, whoa, didn't know that space was there, and most certainly didn't know that it was that tight. Right? So that right leg, and I even saw Carolyn kind of bending that right knee too. So kind of take this where you want. Try to get into those, maybe those smaller, more intricate muscles that they're not easily accessible. Like your quadricep is easily accessible. You can see it, you can feel it, you can touch it. But some of these other muscles that are very deep, we can't see, we can't feel, so it's much harder to control, right? Or at least that's what I feel. I feel like those deeper muscles that we're unaware of are harder to control. But move that straight leg around and get a little warming in the muscles, the deep muscles at the pelvis, in the growing, inner and outer growing. I mean the front growing and the inner growing. Well, that was fun. And then you can exhale, release. Go ahead and bring both of your feet down onto your mat. And I'm going to lift up and take the block over to the side, tuck my sacrum and my tailbone down. Now, if you're at a wall for your feet, great. If not, extend your left leg, and you can grab your strap, and if you don't have a strap, just take your left leg up and grab your left foot or your left toe. But I'm going to place the strap around the right heel. Right side is what's going up first, guys. And then I'm going to pull down and then press up into the strap with the right heel. So right heel, center heel, press up. Try to pull this right leg bone down, this direction. You see, watch guys. So this right leg bone should come down. Down, 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 so much that it's pressing into the floor. Now make your buttock flesh longer. Let's do a dorsiflex of our right foot. Press down on that heel, but dorsiflex. Drop your toes, stretch your kneecap. Grab your strap with your right hand. Take your right leg out to the right. Right kneecap faces the floor. Five right toes face the floor. Left arm to the left. Move the navel to the left. Look to the left. Bring the right leg up. Switch the hand that holds the strap. Take your right leg to the left. Draw your hip down, guys, and try to keep reaching this outer right leg back against the mat. Oh, it's difficult. But keep as much of the right buttock against the mat. Do that. Everyone do this. Go ahead and bring the right buttock flesh on your mat. No matter where it is, no matter where your leg is, bring the right buttock flesh on the mat. Now keep it there and take the right leg to the left. Good. Draw the hip down. Bring the right thigh onto the back of your right leg. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now your leg is going over, but twist your navel to the right. Twist your belly button to the right. Maybe even look to the right. And then bring the leg back to the center and release and switch. So if you don't have a wall for your feet, that's perfectly fine. Always pretend that you do. Just pretend to have stuff that you really don't have. I think that works, right? Isn't that what the secret was? Yeah, you just imagine. That's what vision boards do too, I think. Anyway, put your strap around your heel and press up. So you can, imagination is good. Imagine, pretend you have a strap, or you have a wall, or you have a mat. But really draw down, because when you pull on that heel, strap against your left heel and you draw down, you feel your left leg bone change positions, right? It comes down. It almost comes into the floor, that femur bone. And then grab your strap with your left hand. Take your left leg out to the left. Good. Now you can look to the right. You can twist your navel to the right as you're going to the left. Good. Make sure you keep moving opposite of that left leg and try to bring your outer left hip down. It moves down towards your inner right foot. It moves towards your foot. Now draw your outer left leg back, or kind of tuck it in, and then bring your left leg up. Switch the hand that holds your strap. Take your left leg to the right. Go slowly. Try to maintain that length of the left buttock flesh. That's great. That's great, guys. That's wonderful, wonderful. Now, engage the foot, maybe dorsiflex, and stretch the outer leg back. Twist your belly opposite of your foot. Take your gaze opposite of your foot. So you should look and gaze to the left. Good. Now draw the buttock flesh back down and take the leg a little further. That's it. That's great. And bring it back to the center, guys. Perfecto. Perfect. And you guys can exhale and release and just put your straps against you can move your straps out of the way. And a lot of times we do a little bit of Sukhasana cross, but today I'm going to do legs up the wall for a moment. So, or legs in the chair, or legs against your sofa, whatever you have to use for a wall. So I'm going to use a blanket. You can use more than one. And I'll sit near the wall with one hip. Or use your imagination. Now this one is really hard to have an imaginary wall. It's just not the same thing. Okay. Like it's a lot harder to do this one with an imaginary wall, but do what you gotta do. You can always use a chair if you don't have a wall that will you know, you can use for your legs here. But get your bottom in very close. I like to bend the knees, lift up, and then kind of drag the bottom back down to the prop and take your arms out. And we want to see if we can really just relax for a few moments. Now we'll be here just for a few moments, and you can stay here for Shavasana once we get to that point. But you'll take your legs up, and that length really, if you have you can do an L shape with your hands, and you can really draw those hips to the wall. And you still lift your chest and watch these outer arms. Instead of them coming up, they do what they always do. You exhale, they spread and they descend. And they can go out as far out to the sides as you're comfortable with. You can even close your eyes here, and let's see if we can relax the legs. Sometimes the feet go numb here, or if there's some sort of maybe a imbalance in the sacrum or something, then you may get that sensation of the feet falling asleep, or the feet getting kind of numb or something like that. Sometimes that comes from the back, the low back. But this is also one that's really great for your low back, because it spreads the low back. So if you notice, there's no arch in your low back. It's pretty level. It's pretty flat on your mat, right, for most of us. And that's the point, to try to get that space there. So you let yourselves relax. You let your feet relax, your legs relax, your arms, the muscles in your face relax. And eventually you will feel weight coming from your outer feet moving down into your outer hips, and then really spreading into the low back. But I just remembered how important it is to keep those leg bones kind of back and connected and hooked into the hip socket, right? But what does that? I mean, think about when you're standing up, you have weight on your feet. You have weight on the heels of your feet. It's placing your leg bones in a certain position. So even when your legs are elevated, or when you're not standing on your feet still need to have the same heaviness. Okay, you guys can come out, or you can stay here. If you're going to come out and lie flat for Shavasana, you just roll over, bend the knees, push away from the wall, roll to the right and come out. And then anything you want to do, you can lie flat for Shavasana, or you can stay where you are. You can add a blanket to the back of your head, or maybe you can get a blanket on the heels of your feet. I'm going to move away from the wall, and I've kept that little blanket that I used for legs up the wall. But this time I'm going to put this blanket between my feet and the wall like this. And then I'll tuck and come down. And once I get here, you can hold the mat and you push until your knees are straight. Now, if you have your heels against the wall, if you have a blanket between your feet and the wall, you really will notice what happens when the heels become real heavy. I'll tell y'all a story real quick. I was in class one day with one of my favorite Iyengar teachers. And I had really gotten into this blanket against the wall, between the feet and the wall for Shavasana, right? And I even would go get a bolster and put the bolster at the wall and then put my heels, and I was just so happy. But the whole time I was like wiggling my heels, you know what I mean? Like I was kind of pushing my feet into the bolster instead of that. Anyway, my teacher just came and took the bus. He's like, give me this, you mess around with it too much. Aw. So it's not for you to be distracted by. Do you see? Yeah, it's the opposite. It's really to kind of move you inward. So whatever prop that you may be using, whether that be at your feet, in your hands, at the back of your head, or over your body, you want to use that as a tool to aid to the heaviness of the bones in the body and the heaviness of the muscles. Even the internal organs become heavy, the brain, the heart. And once you let go or surrender, that heaviness becomes deeper. You can always exhale and let go. And sometimes you have to do this consciously. You have to let go. Few more moments in Shavasana, resting every muscle, every bone, every organ. Let the thoughts relax, move the awareness inward. Begin to deepen your breath very slowly here. Move your awareness back into the room. Small movements when you're ready in your fingers and in your toes. And as you exhale the breath, bend the elbows very slowly and bring your hands to your belly or to your heart. You can stretch your arms up and over your head for a full body stretch. Bring the abdominal wall towards the mat as you take the arms over the head. Exhale the breath. Release the arms. Good. And then very slowly bend your knees one at a time. Feet can go mat, floor, wall, chair. Stay very relaxed. Continue with the mind being very quiet. And then you can move your knees in one at a time or both into the chest. Wrap the arms around your knees and any movement side to side or front to back. And then roll over to the right and hold here in a fetal position using your right arm to support your head. And then bring yourselves up to any seated position that you would like. Your eyes are heavy and closed down. Your hands can go wherever you'd like. Maybe stay at the legs or bring your hands to your heart or thumbs to your third eye. And we take a moment in silence, honoring the true self, not the body, not the mind, not the intellect. And I've been reading this quote about peace lately, and this is by Swami Satchidananda. And it's from the book Gems of Wisdom. And he says, yoga believes in transforming the individual before transforming the world. Whatever change we want to happen outside should happen within. If we walk in peace and express that peace in your very life, others will see you and learn something. A mind free from all disturbance is yoga. Thank you guys so much. Namaste.